baby waterbuck. Disappearing. I mean, let's just go a little bit further down Cheetah cut line. You can see a few more animals. They all sound like there's an elephant to the south, but they are not inside our traverse zone yet. So definitely worth our while to hang about here for the next 15 or 20 minutes and enjoy some impala, waterbuck, and there's even some kudu. Browsing off an acacia thorn. Oh, quite a few waterbuck going to be moving through from the right. Oh, and jousting still going on there. Another waterbuck coming through. Lovely soft light. Well, Curious One says it's so great to see all these antelope together. It helps to gauge size. Oh, there's a big boy. Now he's going to chase the little boys. Even though he's exerting dominance over the little boys in the bachelor group, he doesn't have any girlfriends, so he's just being a bully. There you go. Scent marking with his orbital glands. You notice a lot of antelope species will do that. Very waxy substance they leave that the other species or the other animals of the same species are able to pick up on. There's another slightly older ram. Okay, see they're all moving off into the bush there. Now, here's something quite interesting. So waterbuck. There we go. Having a nibble on what looks to be, from this distance, a sickle bush. There's it. Oh, there's three little boys having a joust. Okay, so we're going to keep waiting out. I need to keep listening to the radio. So she is still moving north, but very slowly, like she's stalking. So as soon as we can get a visual of that leopard, we will bring it back to you. But James has returned to the site of a massacre. So let's go have a look.
Hello everybody, my name's Nigel the Mule. Unfortunately, I had a very bad time the other day. I was set upon by Tingana the male leopard, and he killed me. He bit me there. And then I was stolen from Tingana by two male lions and a female lion as well. Lioness, I think you call them in English. And I'm sorry, I can't keep it going anymore. Anyway, this is the nyala that was eaten. It was killed by Tingana, and then it was eaten by the 2 male lions that came on, the Birminghams, and there was a female with them, and she got almost nothing of it at all. So I think Tingana probably had a fairly decent meal, although he did kill a warthog the next day. And, well, this is all that's left, and we're going to try and take this thing with us and put it on the back of the car so that we can use it in the tent. This is going to be fairly disgusting. Good luck, Brian, with the smell. I don't really want to touch it other than for the horns. I'm going to drape it over the top here. If somebody else drives past us today, they are going to be so amazed.
The tide has come in.
Right, there we go. I wish you could see this, everyone. And the smell, I'm going to have to be driving quite quickly now. Thankfully, we have fireside chat fairly soon. Okay. Alright. Oh, God, that's really horrid. If we do actually get to the hyena den, if we find the actual hyena den, we're on our way to the Gallagher shortcut one. If we do actually get there, they're going to be attached to the back of the car very, very quickly. Maybe we shouldn't have put it on the front, because we are going to be able to, we'll be able to drive fast enough to get away from the smell. Brian is now covering himself in a very substantial headdress in order to cover his nose. Marvellous. Thank you, Whitney. You say, who needs the Walking Dead when you have me? Well, yes, quite. And that nyala. I must confess to you that I was messing around with it, saying, you know, should we do a segment here? And Brian said, that looks amazing. It looks like it's talking. So it was actually his idea. It was also his idea to put it on the car, which I think was very good. Now I've got to pick it clean. So it has been picked clean by the vultures. Very little meat left on it. There's enough to make it smell like the bowels of Satan himself. But what we will do is try and boil it. Brian reckons we have a pot large enough for that thing. He's wrong. But we will definitely put it in some kind of either water. We'll probably bury it, actually. We'll probably bury it and let the ants have a go at it. And I think the landowner actually has a special thing that he uses to clean off bones. And then we'll use it later on in our little tent for the TV specials. What's really nice about it, and you don't find this often, is that the spinal column is fully intact, which is interesting. And it also indicates to me that the hyenas are not around here, because I think they would have come and taken it to pieces. Anyway, this is the old Gallagher shortcut den. We'll drive in here and have a quick look. The sun has come out. The light is wonderful. Naturally, the elephants have been in here and have, well, they've made a bit of a mess, haven't they, Brian? This is quite a nasty piece of bush. Yes, you don't want that in your eye. You'll leave your eye behind on it. All right, Brian? Mm-hmm. Is our friend still with us?
Really bad.
It smells like really bad dog's breath. That's a really good way of putting it. Yes, if there are hyenas here, they're going to perk up immediately. No, I don't think they're here either. Not much activity on the mound, plenty of elephant dung, and the elephants normally will stay clear of hyena dens. Again, I can't really explain why they would, but I don't think they've come in here. No, I don't think there's anything fresh here. So what we'll do is go and do one more check at the Aubrey's Road den, and then after today, I think we'll have to hand over to Herbert and see if he can't find them. Oh, this is not. Oh, there's. Look. Isn't that cool? Just popped its head over the top to come and say hi. Oh, that's too sweet. Obviously, a bit like a human being feels safe climbing onto a termite mound. This is a very young elephant, everyone. He's probably about 2.5, 3 years old. I can hear the rest of the herd behind him, but he's popped up using the height as a vantage point, and he obviously feels safe up at that height. In the same way we feel quite safe when we climb up onto a termite mound. And in the case of elephants, it's a completely false sense of security because they climb, as you can see, rather well. That's brilliant. So while we watch that, let's just wait here for a while. You can see the other one just behind there now. Debbie, I think it was, you want to know what are the attributes of a good den. Well, for me, this is the ideal den, Debbie. It's a big termite mound, so there's lots of space for different generations of hyenas, little hyenas to go into. It's got lots of holes excavated by aardvark, and so there are lots of potential den sites. And in this particular one, there are 2 or 3. There's a much bigger elephant going past, and also it's got shade, so there's lots of shade here. And the real clincher for me on this one is that it's not on a path, it's not on a game path. And so lions and other predators that might disturb the den site are not going to disturb it here. Here comes the mother. We're just going to sit here quietly, watch her climb. Look at this, it's brilliant. I'm not going to start the engine just simply because she looked at us and opened her ears, which just indicated she was saying, I'll tolerate you, but just, you keep your distance. She's got beauty. I'm not sure I know her. I mean, elephants are not good with faces at the best of times, but I thought initially that she might be the young mother with the third of her trunk missing, but it's definitely not her. She's got a complete trunk. Brian, do you think it's just the 2 of them?
No, there's 3.
Oh, there's 3. Ah, yes, there we are. Look at the little one there. Oh, this is brilliant. See, right onto the top of the mound. They're very good climbers. Well, I mean, not very good, but they're pretty good for their size and their way they're built. That's amazing. Right on the top there. Oh, that's fantastic. So they wouldn't be doing this, I don't think, if the hyenas were here. And she's just looking at us, she's listening quite carefully to us, she's watching us. The youngsters couldn't care less. But she's paying very close attention, and there's another sort of rustling in the bushes down to the left of your screen, and I think there are more elephants there. There she goes up to the top. She's just stuck her trunk right down into the hole, exactly into the hole where the hyenas were. This is fantastic. Now what she's eating is a tree called Scotia brachypatella, or the weeping boerbean. Now they grow a lot on termite mounds, and because of that they're often inaccessible to elephants. The trunks go really tall and the foliage is really high up. And so it's difficult for them. Now she doesn't care about us anymore, that's great. There's this little one here. Just see the trunk the tusk starting to erupt. You can just see a swelling there underneath the eye. That's it. And they're smelling. Everywhere where those little hyena cubs used to live, they're smelling. Obviously much more sensitive noses than ours. I suppose they can also smell a carcass. And Jose, you make a brilliant point. I mean, I didn't even think of this, but you have to give it to the termites. They've built this mound that can hold the mass of a fully grown elephant cow. It's pretty impressive. This one's not the most coordinated chap in the class, is he, Brian? Probably last to be picked for the sports team. I know what that's like. I mean, I'm being completely facetious. Their agility for the way they're built is absolutely amazing to me. And there you can see the one still on top. This one now standing very close to the hole, the main hole there, where the hyenas used to live. So interesting, you know, I haven't thought of this before, but those scotia trees grow on termite mounds, and you know, I always thought it was simply because of the fertility within the mound and the fact that maybe, you know, the termites drag the seeds underground there. Maybe it has to do with the fact that if they don't grow on termite mounds, they don't get big enough to survive because the elephants eat them. I think that's quite interesting. Now, Kathy in Tennessee, you want to know how long I think this thing took to build. I'm so bad at this, you know. You'll read various statistics about how a termite, a group of termites can build just like a soccer ball size in about, I mean, I've seen a soccer ball size every year. I don't believe that for 1 second. I've seen them build a soccer ball size in a day. So it really does depend on the size of the colony. I think that this mound is probably, let's say, 100 years old. Remember, it's not impervious to water, so water will. Oh, here we go. There's another big one. Water will absolutely kind of weather it and wash it away, but then it can be recolonized. It can be revisited, and then it'll become active again. So it's very difficult to say how, with any certainty, how old a termite mound is. It's going to be quiet here. They're talking to each other quite carefully. You hear that, Brian? They're making a grumbling noise at each other. This cow doesn't look that happy with us. But we're going to just sit here and be very quiet. She's got rapier tusks, which we don't really want to get on the end of. Unfortunately, I cannot move, everyone. So I'm just going to be quiet now. I'm going to not say anything. She is a substantial cow. Why she's moving in the direction other than where the other one's gone, I don't know, other than to check us out. She's not giving any indication of discomfort at this stage, so I think we're fine. I think she's just looking. It's interesting, you know, with the bulls will often come and sort of get curious, if you like, with cars, or be mischievous, and they might run up to cars and, you know, just kind of be cheeky almost. Cows won't do that. Cows will come up to the cars only if they are feeling like they need to assess what you want. So she's turned towards us now, and she's just having a look and a see. She's lactating quite heavily. I'm sure one of these youngsters is hers. Unless she's pregnant, she looks very fat, doesn't she, Brian? She also, her, you know, elephant, cows and bulls have an opening between the back legs in the same place. And hers looks quite kind of dilated, if you like. Maybe she's about to give birth. Oh, hello. Thanks for that. He's so sweet. He's only about he's 2 feet from us. Look at the hairs on the top of his head. And look how his ears perfectly fold onto the top of his skull. And how wrinkly he is at such a young age. It's completely normal, of course. I think it's just the 4 of them, just the 4 elephants. Oh, this is so special, everyone. This truly is a rare and wonderful privilege. You can just see the tusks erupting, as I said. Now that's normally. He's now kneeling on the floor. I can't see his head. This is spectacular. I might have to try and take a picture, everyone. Diane, you gave a question. I think I missed it though. I think you want to know if the the carcass smell. No, it obviously isn't disturbing them, Diane. There's a good smell, so at least a good question. We have this carcass on the back of the car. And you want to know if it will affect the elephants. It clearly hasn't. That was just unbelievable. What a rare, special privilege. Young bull, I think. Well, the cow's just kind of wandered off. She seems to be completely comfortable now. I can speak at a normal volume. Brian? Enjoyable sighting?
Exceptionally.
Better than the talking dead nyala. The zombie nyala sighting.
The zombie sighting, the close second.
A close second.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about getting a camera out for that because it was just too wonderful to watch. Gee whiz. You know, you have to work on a Sunday afternoon and then this is what is provided for you and you realise that it is no trial at all. And then you turn around to look where the other elephant's gone and you see the zombie nyala smiling at you and you realise that all is right for the world unless you're the nyala. Now that elephant is getting very stuck into probably the last of the green grass growing underneath that fallen tree. Oh, that was just so wonderful. 2 feet from us, you could see so close that we couldn't actually get a full picture. I couldn't get out of the way enough. I think we'll just sit here a bit longer, everybody, and enjoy ourselves and see if the little one doesn't come down from the very top. And that area there must smell like hyena dreadfully, but it also, to a very sensitive nose, I suppose, must smell like pygmy kingfisher, because in the same hole that Corky's young cubs lived for many months, so a kingfisher pair, pygmy kingfishers, beautiful coloured birds, set up a nest just inside that hole. And that's quite common. If this elephant manages to climb over that trunk, I will be seriously impressed. I think just testing if... Look at this. Go on, go for it. Looks like he's going to try. Just keep an eye out for his mother. He may get a whiff of the zombie. She doesn't seem to have. What I do need to do, everybody, is just take a picture of Brian's current situation and then I'll show it to you. There's Brian and his zombie. And while we wait to see what that elephant does, there is Brian, and there is the nyala. That is very macabre.
It is.
Yeah, no, he's not going to climb over there. Sniffing, though, where the cubs once were. It's interesting, hyena dens don't smell when there are hyenas at them. As soon as they leave, And this is why I do agree that the Albury's Road ones have been abandoned. As soon as they leave, they do start to smell. And that one at Albury's Road I pulled into the other day, and it stank quite horribly. So I don't think they're there anymore. But I might be entirely wrong. And remember, there are no very small cubs at the moment, so they can move. They can move quite often if they want to. Doesn't mean they will necessarily, but it does mean that they can. This is a wonderful little elephant bull. I'm just going to ask the final control to check something for me, if you wouldn't mind. I know that some elephants have their tusks, bulls, I think it's the bulls, and the cows at 2 years. Now I would have put this elephant at about 2, and so maybe it isn't a bull, maybe it's a young cow. Because I think this elephant's well older than 18 months. But it's almost impossible to tell what sex they are when they're this size. See, looking for little bits of greenery, of course, because his teeth won't be fully formed yet, his molars. So, okay, I'm sorry, they are fully formed, yes, fair enough. And so he will want green leaves to eat. He doesn't want to be chewing on bark. He won't be quite able to do that yet. And he'll still be suckling. This isn't wrinkly bottom, is it, Brian?
I don't know, I had that thought.
You think it might be?
Potentially.
He does have that sort of widely spaced wrinkles on his bottom, and he's right here that I've been here. I think I saw him on my second drive.
He was displaying similar traits.
Exactly, that little rearing.
Mm.
They grow up so fast, Brian, don't they? Oh, you are very vicious. Yes. Now, he's definitely having a play. You know, these calves, they love to play because I think they get so bored just eating all day long. He's too close, I can't take a picture of him.
I would say definitely Rinky
I would say definitely Rinky Bottom too. Everyone, he's so close. I can't take a picture of him. This is unbelievable. This is fantastic. Wow, what a privilege. What a privilege. There he goes. That was, what, Brian? Another 2 feet from us when he did his little rearing. I'm sure it must be him. Let's call it him. He's now he's caught a whiff, of course, of the zombie. He's turned around again. Here he comes. Here he comes. He's not vicious, of course, everybody. He's wonderful. We're very privileged to be spending time with him. The other cow, the large one, seems to have just wandered off. She's obviously very comfortable with us, to have left her wrinkly-bottomed, recalcitrant son in this area. Maybe it's because he's so naughty, she just leaves him to his own devices. that is the most spectacular experience. And I was so enthralled again, I didn't get one picture. Oh well. You know, everyone, people used to bring these cameras on safari with them when I was a guide. And so often they would actually miss what was going on because they were so intent on recording their safari that they actually failed to take heed of it. And I do find that there's a real balance to be had. Sometimes you just got to leave the camera down alone, well, Brian, not in Brian's case, but in the rest of us, and you just have to observe and enjoy. And that was one of those moments there, because you could never capture that energy on a video or on a still. So confiding, so comfortable, and just kind of showing off, and it's just a wonderful experience. Right, I think we should move on. What do you say, Brian? Mm-hmm. And while we do that, let's head across to the inimitable Big Loud Sound and find out what he's doing. I wonder if those lions are coming towards us still. We're going to make our way slowly towards the fireside chat, I think, but we're going to do a quick loop past the Aubrey's Road Den.
Hey, what's the big ground work? Thank you, buddy.
So as you can see, we're still playing the patience game on the southern edge of our traverse area. So the last update we got that this female leopard was chasing an Inyala north. So we've moved a little bit further down and we're now waiting. I'm going to ask on the radio shortly. And I think we might do a little loop towards Leadwood Road and then come back through here while we wait. I haven't driven Leadwood Road in quite a while, so it'll be interesting to see what's going on. And the road is named such after this big dead leadwood, and dead leadwoods are often able to stay standing for over 100 years once they've died. And wood is, as you imagine, very hard, and they're named the leadwood, and it actually is so dense it sinks in water, and also completely resistant to termites and burrower beetles. Very high lime content. So the ash is traditionally used as toothpaste. So hi Riley. Riley's in North Carolina, and Riley is wondering, what is the danger of bushfires or brush fires here, and have there ever been any large ones? There have been some really big ones in the Sabi Sands, although this year I would say the danger is almost zero. There is no grass to burn, so it would be very difficult for a fire to get going. So normally the dry season we are quite conscious, especially if there's been good rains. There's a lot of grass around, and obviously it becomes dry, and then there is a serious chance of brush fires or bushfires. But in a year where there's a drought, it would be very, very difficult for a fire to get going. So just a reminder that we will be doing a fireside chat, and as we've just said, sorry,
I'm not going to stay with them.
I'm trying to figure out what was going on there. It was in case the leopard moving towards us. I wasn't there. But what are we talking about? Yes, bushfires. There have been some very big ones in this area. And speaking of fires, there we go. Now I've got my train of thought back. Fireside chat this evening. I know quite a few people were a bit upset last week because we changed the format and the platform. We are going to be trying it again. Hopefully there will be less problems or no problems as we go. Oh, what was that? I just saw movement through there. As I said, hopefully we've got no problems with the fireside chat this evening, and it will be on our Facebook page again. What is it? There's a kudu. Yes, it's a female or male kudu. Male kudu. You can just make him out. I just saw the legs through the bush there. And then that Tamburji thicket. A nice big male kudu. Off he goes. Okay, so I was saying, Fireside Chat will be on our Facebook page, so Safari Live. You don't have to be a member of Facebook to watch it. You can, I think, just go onto the Facebook thing and type in Safari Live, and you should be able to access our public page without being a member of Facebook. And I know it frustrates some, but we are trying something new, and hopefully it will be beneficial to all of us in the long run. So just bear with us while we figure out the little glitches. And the focus of Fireside Chat this evening will be a leopard update on all the leopards that we've been seeing and what's going on with them. Because I think this week we've seen Tandi, Karula, Nkanyini, and Tingana. That's right. I don't think we've seen any others. So it sounds like she's moving a little bit further south. That's not good. So, of course, a lot of our long-time viewers will know a very sad story of Sindile, who was Shadow's last cub, who bit a rabid dog and had to go into quarantine. He has been released, which is great news, and is now back in the Sabi Sands. He's to the southwest of us, and I've spotted something there for them to show you with this big zoom we have on this camera. You see a small black dot in the acacia in the distance. Here we go. I'll continue on. Here we go. A pair of Bateleur eagles. They found a spot to roost for the evening. It's getting quite dark already, and they found a spot. That's where they're going to spend the evening. We often find them roosting along Leadwood Road. It seems to be one of their favorite hangouts. Such beautiful birds.
I'm on the open area. Stand by here. Come a little bit north. North from the open area. Okay, come in.
Oh, guys. Obviously deciding that's not the best spot to spend the night. Okay, well, let's leave them be. So, as we're chatting about Shadow's cub Sindile, now Monique in London would like to know what would happen if they happen to meet up. Would they know each other? I definitely think there would be some recognition. She would be deeply unhappy if he did arrive, because she still does have a cub, and he would pose a very big threat to that cub. He would kill it. Now, news on Shadow and the cub. They have been found. I've just been listening to the Eastern Game Drive radio in the property to the south west of us, and they're on a kill with Tingana. So Shadow, the cub, and Tingana are all present in that sighting. So that's good news, because for a while Tingana used to eat quite a lot of his cubs. It looks like he hasn't eaten this one yet.
That's you know, when you come from Fish Rock to the west, there's this first training class that you come across. When you're heading towards you look that way. No, negative. I'm just thinking of these
So I'm just listening to the radio there again. Sounds like
watch games right this way.
they've lost her. Let's just go back. We're nearly back where we were waiting. Make sure she hasn't crossed onto our side. Sniggity. Now, as I said, we're not sure who it is. It's from what they say, it's Tandy, and we'll have a closer look if she comes across. And James is on his way to the fireside chat, and he is run smack bang into a Sunday evening traffic jam of elephants. Aren't we lucky when we have traffic jams out here in the bush? It's generally caused by either big herds of elephants or big herds of buffalo, or even sometimes a giraffe or a lion.
Yeah.
Speaking of large herds of buffalo that sometimes cause traffic jams, Angie's wondering, do they ever stampede? Generally when they're being chased by lions. But speaking about the other creature that sometimes causes us traffic jams, I see one up ahead. Some more elephants. Hello, Ellies. It's a small breeding herd. I can only see 3 individuals. Doesn't mean there aren't more around. Fortunately, they are in the same area where the leopard is, which is just across our southern edge of traverse. Hello, little one. So I suppose we wouldn't classify that as a baby anymore, probably a juvenile. Size maybe 2 to 3 years old. Looks like it's going to follow mom deeper into Cheetah. So I'm just listening to the radio, so they've lost that leopard, so it's going to just go very slowly down the road here. Make sure she hasn't popped out while everyone's been waiting for her somewhere else. Halfway between these 2 roads here, so I'm going to be staring intently into the bush here.
Right. Now I think I'll move out of the boundary. The boundary,
So here the Nyala, I think she was stalking. We're looking for a leopard. Sandy in Florida. Oh, we did just switch off here for a second. Sandy in Florida is wondering, do I think the leopards identify or can distinguish between the individual vehicles? Well, I think maybe between certain vehicles, but I don't think that they know there are people on the vehicles. I think that would be pushing it a bit far. Hello, little madam. You have a little sore leg. You're not the one the leopard's been watching a little bit more closely than the others. Come on, Vim, spot a leopard. Now we've got decisions to make. We might stick around here a little bit because the Nyala look like they're going to cross into our side, and if she is sticking with the Nyala, then she might be just behind them. There we go. Now the one with the limp was the last of the line. Nice young male. And here comes the female Nyala with the limp. After this male. So hi Susan, who's in Long Island. Susan would like to know, are there Thompson's gazelle in South Africa? No, Susan, I think the closest Tommy to us is in Tanzania, a couple of 1,000 kilometers away. So it's not a bad limp, but you can definitely see she's a little bit sore in the back legs. Now will the Nyala bring out the leopard we are searching for to us? That is the question. We're going to, I think, just go a little bit slow. Oh, there's another Nyala coming out.
I'll try, yeah.
So guys, just going to be on the radio for a second. Text.
Yeah, Gumbo.
What you guys got there?
My dad said to Kaya from southwest.
Copy, I'll check Cheetah cut line.
Okay, copy, yeah. Maybe you can check Cheetah cut line. Got him inside, that's right there. So just from a
wow! It seems like everything's happening in this little corner. So we're looking for the leopard. Now I've just heard there might be wild dogs coming straight towards us. So we're going to go down to the end of this block where we think that, well, we know the leopard has been lost, and then we're going to go back and check down towards the Mulwanini, see if the wild dogs go that way. Let me just let the guys in the east. Stations in the east, just a quick update. There was my Dutch heading south from Torchwood Kaya, southwest. Might pop out Kari Main opposite Chitwa Mati, that area. They said they were highly mobile southwest. They've had them about 6 minutes ago, so it could be any time now. We definitely have to take the chance. So we're going to stand by up on the high ground here so we can see down towards the Mulwanini. So they're coming from this area over here. And we all know how fast wild dogs can move. If you don't, if they are on the hunt, they can do about 60 kilometers an hour and keep that up for up to 5-6 kilometers. So they have incredible stamina. I think this is the best spot to wait for a little bit and listen. And it seems like Vim and I...
This singer is leggering after something straight west over there now. It's very, very dense here. You can come have a look. Thanks, man. I'm out.
Look at that. So we've got the zoom, we've got the distance, we've got the high ground. So we're in the right spot.
Was there any other stations that were responding to this lock?
Right.
Come on, this track,
It's supposed to be popping up somewhere right around here. Now, I do apologize for all the noise on the game drive radio today, but unfortunately my cable went down, so final control is on handheld and my game drive comms are open. And now with our Cheetah Plains Traverse, we've got sometimes listening to 3 different radios at once. What you spotted there in the bush?
Nothing.
Nothing. He's just looking, and then having the super zoom on this camera is like having another pair of binoculars right there. And we can see on a nice screen. So this is the ideal time of the day for wild dogs. VM has found a car to be hunting. They are crepuscular hunters. So what that means is they are most active at dusk and dawn. And then we're going to just keep doing what we're doing. We're just going to keep doing these little loops around this area, and hopefully one of the predators we're searching for will make an appearance. Okay, we've got both radios on. So they've got one radio, we're listening to leopard this side, the Taxon over here listening to wild dogs. So we're literally in the middle. We have to get some luck. So I wonder what it's going to be. Is it going to be the leopard or is it going to be the wild dogs? What do you think, Vim? Neither. Or both. Vim wants the wild dogs chasing the leopard, I think, is what he wants. Sorry? Or leopard chasing wild dogs. I think that would be a little bit more unlikely. I actually have seen wild dogs kill a leopard before in Botswana. They ripped a female leopard limb from limb, but that was quite a big pack, about 26 animals in that pack. Waterbuck here look very calm and collected, so unlikely they've caught a whiff of the dogs yet.
Moray, what's your lock? Gary Bay approaching Chitwa All driveway.
I see taxi, I think, coming here.
Check Rombe.
So we're now literally right in the middle between these 2 potential sightings. And isn't this exciting to find what could be out here? Oh, there's cars coming from all directions now. Hello. Good luck.
Thank you.
Hello. Are you taxi?
Looks like that had more.
More this way.
Yeah.
There's Ninja and Mala and Spiva there. There's a fuzzy Ingrid now on the side here somewhere close. Apparently she's Lanza and Yara, but in the really thick zebra woods. They've lost her. So I'm going to check. I think my dash should be from the south too fast.
Yeah, and also it's getting
dark. Okay. Good luck. Thanks. It's a new pack, eh? Okay, so there we go. So taxi is telling me that those wild dogs were cruising. So he thinks they might have already passed through. So we're going to take a little gander at the leopard that was lost in the thickets there. And if we have no luck on this little trial run here, unfortunately I'm going to have to start running for fire at the side. Chat? Fingers crossed. A little leopard before to go with the lion in the beginning. I'd like that. So for those of you who might have logged in a little late and wondering what am I harping on about, fireside chat. So fireside chat is a way where we get together at the end of the week and we sit around the fire, all three guides together, and we chat about what's been happening and what's been seen. So the main theme this week will be leopards, because we have seen, I think, all if we include cubs, we've seen 3, 4, 5, 6 different leopards this week. And hopefully we're going to add another one before we get back. But I think it is getting a little bit unlikely right now. But so I'm going to have to start moving back towards. But we did try right to the very end to get you guys a big cat or a wild dog. We did get the lion in the beginning of the safari, and it sounds like he crossed into Arathusa, but I'm sure Jamie and myself will be out searching tomorrow morning for what's going on. And the morning is really, really awesome. We've got those nice fresh set of tracks to work for. Try to work out where all the animals are gone and coming and doing. But as I was saying about fireside chat, we get together, chat about the happenings of the week. And I said this one's focusing on leopards, but it is not going to be on the traditional stream. So you will not find it where you find me right now. We are trying some new tech and some new platforms. So if you do want to join us for the fireside chat, please go on to Facebook and go to our Facebook page, which is Safari Live, and look for the live feed from Facebook, and you will find us there. Now, you do not have to be a signed member of Facebook to do this, as far as I'm aware. You can just go to the Facebook page, type in Safari Live in the search section, and it will take you to the public pages like ours, so you don't have to go through the whole sign-up rigmarole and all that nonsense. So you can watch it without being a signed-on member of Facebook. So I know it frustrated some people last week, but we are trying and are constantly trying to bring you new advancements that can only improve this already amazing show. Kerner seems to think the colours of the clouds are beating the colours of my scarf. Liam, what do you think?
I don't know, I dig the clouds.
Liam likes the clouds. I also like the clouds, but the only reason why my scarf wins is because it keeps me warm. And I don't like being cold.
Clouds make you cold.
And the clouds make me cold. You notice I've just turned off those bright headlights of mine. There's some impala next to the road and I don't want to blind them. Oh, and came back and gone again. There you go. Bouncy, bouncy. So we got about 5 minutes into fireside chat. I'm starting to make my way back. I often get in trouble for being late. I tend to try and push the envelope when it comes to finding the animals. Feel for me, I think the directors are going to shout at me again today. They're so mean for such small little females. So, because we are experimenting with the new platforms and the fireside chat will happen, but we're going to go to the waterhole camp for a short little stint before coming live on Facebook Live. So if you see the waterhole cam come up, don't worry, we are still doing fireside chat, and if we do have a few tech issues, please be patient. We are trying our best. I think I felt a raindrop. Did you feel a raindrop? No. I thought I felt a raindrop land on my cheek. And hopefully it stays away till after the fireside chat. Oh, and it's so nice to have Rusty purring again. It sounds like everyone's getting excited for fireside chat, so just us too. And of course, Commander Bond is back, or James, as those who knew. So, because he's James Bond, or he likes to think he's James Bond at least. But he will also be rolling out a song at the end of fireside chat. Unfortunately, you have been deprived of that while he was on leave, because you really don't want Jamie or I to sing. We would terrify the world. The fireside chat happens on the big open area near our camp called the Quarantine Clearings. So believe it or not, if this is your first fireside chat, we are actually sitting out away from any infrastructure out in the middle of the bush. And you're going to be quite careful. You might notice I swing my torch around from time to time, because you never know what might come up to you in the bush. We've had leopard at fireside chat, we've had hyena, elephant, buffalo, but we've never had lion walk into fireside chat, or cheetah for that matter, or wild dog. But there's always this fireside chat, or next week's fireside chat. We're just going to jump to the damn camp for 5 minutes, and then hopefully you'll have us seated around a roaring African fire.